Okay, I am recording, so.
Okay, great. Well, we'll call the meeting to order. Hi, everyone. We need to do the minutes first. There were two monthly minutes that need approval. What was the first one, Shannon?
February 26th and April 22nd.
Okay, so yeah, right. All right. Did everyone read the March and are you ready to approve those?
I didn't read them.
I didn't.
Thanks, guys.
I can read them very quickly right now to vote on it. I'm being way too truthful.
No problem.
I did go over that, so I could make a motion.
Okay.
Can I second it as the person that wrote them, or no, does somebody else have to?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
Okay.
I don't.
But you guys may want to read them, just in case I did misrepresent something.
Yeah.
So do we want to approve, or do we want to wait until the next meeting to approve?
No, we should try to approve them now.
Okay, so if Karen makes a motion.
As long as someone read
So
them.
yeah.
I'll second.
Okay. So we approve, right?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, and then the April minutes. Everyone read and approve these?
Truthfully?
All right, well, let me rephrase that. Does everyone approve the minutes?
I approve those minutes.
Perfect.
We didn't discuss anything controversial.
No, it was a very swift one. That's for sure. Well, then I guess the most important thing today is really to just discuss the kind of the moving forward probably for the next 6 months, but based on the COVID restrictions that will probably continue to be enforced on and off through the end of the year. The focus for the group was split into like three kind of categories. The first one was the spearheading of strategies for and concepts for the capital campaign, which would obviously not be launched until the earliest, which would be fall 2021. But it gives us a lot of time to, ferret out, issues and come together with a really solid approach. So Shana and Karen have agreed to spearhead that effort, and you certainly will be available if you have, the two of you have any, questions or issues you want to quickly have reviewed by anyone on the committee. That's fine. So I assume you haven't really started. Have you met yet?
We're speaking on Friday.
Great. That's great. All right. Well, I mean, just keep me in the loop. Let me know what's up if you need anything, etc. And the same goes for the second group, which would be kind of getting together some kind of volunteer maintenance troop for the homestead. And Laura and Tara agreed to regulate and create and regulate that effort. And I think it's something that's really important for us to continue to stake out our territory. And since the town certainly has no budget, and with COVID, it seems even more kind of barren over there. I mean, they did put some flowers in, but there's just not a lot. There's a lot of overgrowth, and there's just things that need like TLC, and I think that we can provide.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Tara, we'll just. It's not. I don't think this is a big deal. I really don't, you know? I think we'll concentrate maybe on the formal garden, Tara.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I think that's the spot that we can do the most effective. I already have my neighbor Berkeley Soper on board. She was like, I'll do anything. So, you know, grab. I mean, if Shayna, Karen, Robert, if you guys want to join in for an hour,
exactly.
donuts and coffee, you know. Anyway, we'll come up with a couple of dates and see if we can pull something together.
You can send out when you establish, you know, a work schedule. You can circulate it, and if I'm available or anyone in the community is available, we can come and participate. Absolutely. I mean, I'll be
schedule.
around.
It's fun schedule, not work schedule. It would be a fun schedule.
Fun schedule.
This is fun.
If you guys put together a day, or if you guys can think of a day or activities that families can do, I'd love to come with my kids and like bring a few girlfriends with kids too. I mean, kids can weed and do things like that.
Yeah.
I think
our garden club did that once. I was head of civic, and we were doing some civic work at the senior center, and you know, in the summer especially, people have their children home. Right. And they brought them. It was great. It was really fun, you know. And this is a contained, you know, safe area for them.
Mm-hmm.
So sure.
Yeah, it's kind of like the beach cleanup day that they have. You know, the garden and the beach parks cleanup. They have a day to do that. Similar.
Yeah.
That's great. No, I think that would be great to get the community in there with us.
I guarantee my kids will not be there.
I can't guarantee that.
To pick up anything.
I'm trying really hard to teach my kids how to weed. It's like my summer mission. So
start them early, Shayna. Start them early.
Fun. Yeah.
Maybe we can grab Lisa. Maybe she'll be available too. It'd be nice for her to, you know, be with us.
And if she still has her grandkids around too, I'm sure it would be nice for her to bring them over.
Yeah, she's got a house full. She might want to get out.
All right, and then the third focus for the committee that I am working on is going to be sort of basically be an event and educational programming strategy for the entire homestead, and it would also include eventual application to the master plan as it's laid out now. And I'm talking to a couple of elementary educators, teachers, administrators. There's two of them that I know, and I've already connected with one of them. And I also want to be talking to some directors at museums and libraries to get some other insights. Some of the institutions have very deep programming, community programming for broad swath of demographic, and I think they may be able to give me some ideas that we have not discovered or thought about yet. And so I can pull something together, hopefully try to do it for a calendar year, spread it out and sort of find things to activate the site, spring, summer, fall, winter, and I'll send it out during the summer and have everyone review and comment. Okay. And I think I don't really have much else to talk about. I mean, I think we have some actually fun homework over the next few months, and hopefully I'm hoping we can return to a 30% normal in the fall. It would be great, but we'll see. And Ellen she's tied up right now with Richard's been ill, and she's waiting to know what she can contribute over the summer. But graphically, obviously, which is what I've been leaning on her for mostly, there's really nothing right now, unless either Laura and Tara need a flyer or bulletin and you feel, you're a little pressed to produce it, she would probably do it for us. And the same would, go to Shana and Karen if you need some kind of graphic tool that she might be able to quickly lay out, because I think she's homebound right now, and she probably would be happy to have a relief, for an hour or two, to be creative. So just let me know.
I'm just going to say off the top, I don't know that we need a flyer, honestly. So.
Well, you let me know. I mean,
yeah,
you never know. I mean, you just let me know what you need, because if I can include her, I would. But she's certainly not going to be. She may be able to assist me with some of the contacts that she has, for my programming strategies for the homestead. So I'll certainly talk to her about that. But I don't think she should have broad swaths of time right now, because Richard wants her there all the time, so she can't venture out at all. All right.
Okay. Is he,
all right.
He okay-ish? I mean, is this
yeah.
Fixable?
Well, there's a couple of things going on. I mean, once more has been ongoing, and those procedures are going well. But when he was going for a surgical follow-up, and he fell in the doctor's office. And he has neuropathy in his feet, lower limbs and feet, from years of, I'm not sure exactly what it's from, other kinds of treatments or just part of the aging process. So he's he walks, he's mobile, he's fine. But there was an abrupt shift in a transition from carpet to hard surfacing, and his feet they caught, and he didn't break anything, but he had a deep contusion into the hip and lower back. He had a bad strain the lower back, and unfortunately, the next day or two, once he was starting supposedly to recover, and he's trying to walk around, he actually strained his knee because he's compensating for the hip and the back. So the knee went out. So they have around the clock care, but he's not home, he's not bedridden. But he's going to be in there. He's going to be recovering for another month and a half, probably. So it is what it is. But he's I've saw him, and he's in really good spirits, and he definitely, mentally is not down by it. He seems to be ready to get out. So that hopefully will put him full faster.
Nice.
All right. Well, does anyone have anything else to contribute or to talk about?
I have one sort of new business question related to the capital campaign. Because all of our meetings are public record, is there a way that our conversations about capital campaign strategies, prospects, can these things be kept confidential unless people want to be recognized publicly once they give? Like if we're having conversations about prospects and how much money we're going to be asking them for, I don't feel like that should be something that's recorded and posted to the town, right? So
these are recorded, it's not just.
Yeah. How do we, I don't want to say how do we get around that, but is this something that we can have offline, these conversations?
How do we protect the privacy of supporters? But I think one way, is Tara speaking? One way is between Karen and Shana meeting, you can discuss anything you want, and it doesn't become public record. Okay. It's just, when we have a quorum, that it has to be noted. So the only issue I'm not 100% sure on, and I'll find out today, is that if these particular issues are distributed in document form, would they have to be and not discussed at our monthly meeting or a meeting that where a quorum is present, do we have to post those documents?
Yeah. I wonder if even Karen and I can report like, oh, we have this much raised from 4 donors and that's enough for us to publicly report.
Well, maybe what we should say, even to keep it even probably more private, you may want to refrain from actually mentioning dollar amounts and just decide, agree on a goal.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're talking about finances, you discuss it in the terms of percentages. We have 20% of our goal achieved, so whatever. And maybe that's what we want to do. And you can certainly give me feedback as to what your thoughts are on that. How transparent do we want to be? How transparent do we have to be?
So, are these Zoom meetings required to be posted, recordings posted?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was an order from the governor that if we were going to convene virtually, then they just need to be recorded for public record.
Isn't that interesting? Because what's the difference if you meet in person and post minutes?
Right. We don't record our meetings when we meet in person.
Right.
Well, but the reason, but I think the reason that they're requiring the live audio feed or the recording of the audio feed is because we have taken away the opportunity for community members to attend the meeting.
Got it. Yeah.
Right.
But we really haven't. It's still posted publicly. They can still log into Zoom. You know?
Interesting.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand the recording part. Oh well. Anyway. Everything we're saying is online.
I have a questions, Robert. One question is about the pond. Still, are they going to fill it this summer? Do we know what's happening with that?
No, I don't. I will try to find out today. I was over there last week one day, and I brought lunch, and I just walked around, and I haven't seen. The only thing I noticed was they have been occasionally cutting the lawns,
Right.
and there was some new annual stuff dropped in, but there's really nothing else going on. It looked a little sad, actually, and the pond is kind of just it's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
Right.
I think they might have done a bit of cleanup, so I'm wondering if they're getting prepared. I don't know.
That would have been turned on by now if they were planning it. Although the big push is always because of weddings and events, and those are not happening. So maybe they're just taking backseat.
Yeah, it's too bad because I think they had a lot of graduation activity over there yesterday.
You're right.
Yeah, and so that would have been a perfect time. I mean, to try to get some photos or, so anyway.
Yeah.
Does anyone know? Yeah, okay. I was just wondering if anyone knew any high school seniors at the high schools, and if they had photos there, it might be nice for us to have some piece of that. The graduation activities. I think they must have spilled over into the gardens a bit. And then my second question was about the June event. Are we going to resurrect that, or are we going to play it by ear based on the June?
You broke up.
The June fundraising event.
I'm sorry. So what was the question about the June fundraising?
Yeah, is that still on, or are we just going to take a wait-and-see approach based on what's happening in the next few months?
Yeah, I thought I mentioned that to Ellen because I reminded her or asked her to archive all the work she did for the June 2020 event, so that we just, with minor tweaks, reinstate all the work she did for the event in June 2021. But that's dependent on, obviously, like as you just mentioned, what transpires over the next 6 months. So I figured we would make an assessment because the event, we'd have plenty of time if we make a firm commitment to that event say January 2021. I think we would have time because all the legwork as far as the pack of the promotional materials is done, almost complete based on just a fine tweaks to the shifting dates, etc. I think we can hold off to January meeting to make that decision.
Okay.
Karen, do you think that's enough time for corporate sponsorships and all that, the business, would 6 months be enough time, or?
I think if it was truly in January when we started, I think that might be okay. What do you think, Shana?
I mean, it's not like we're not going to discuss this again in October. It's not like we're not going to discuss it again in November.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think, Robert, if I understand what you're saying is we'll make the final call in January. But we should have an idea of how things are going well before then.
Right. It's totally dependent on the state of COVID restrictions. And as if hopefully in the fall they become less and less restrictive, we may make the call in October or November.
Mm-hmm.
That we can go forward with it. What I guess I mean by January, if we're not able to commit to the event in September, October, November, December because of what's still swirling around us, then I would, hopefully my target would be no later than January. If we can do it before, approve it before, we have proceed before, we certainly would.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, have a great summer. I guess I want to call the meeting to conclusion then.
And hopefully we'll see you all. We'll all be together in the garden for a
Well, you call me, I'll be there.
little party.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
That would be great. Let us know.
For a fun session. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. All right. Well, everyone have a great summer. Be safe.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Okay.
Have a great summer, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Okay.
Talk to you, Shana.
What?